Hi Aries, welcome to your March 2023 horoscope reading. You have the Six of Wands, the Devil in reverse, the Five of Wands, and the Eight of Pentacles. So Aries, happy birthday for those of you who were born in March. What I'm seeing for you guys this month is a shift in how you approach your work and how that relates to other people. There may be a release of control structures that you've been operating within that weren't serving you, especially if those control structures or motivations or even hierarchies were creating competition that pitted you against other people, and that may have caused you to sacrifice some of your own integrity and even to disempower yourself through some actions. Now, I do find that you are coming out of that now this month. You're liberating yourself quite effectively here, and you're able to feel more at peace with what it is that you want to do and what you want to create. So I definitely see March as a month for you of success, of victory, of triumphing over past limitations, past disempowerment, and especially where there was conflict or even challenges between you and other people. I see this month providing you with some type of reward as well. Now, you may want that reward or you may not want that reward, because the reward is going to show up in a way that might be unexpected or not what you were predicting the outcome would be, or not what you were expecting the reward would look like. So maybe this is something that you foresee and you have expectations around, and then ultimately it results in disappointment or dissatisfaction. Kitty's agreeing. However, the reward is there. The reward is on the table for you this month, and it's really just up to you if you'd like to accept that, if you'd like to work with that. Some other themes that I'm seeing for March are around finding your stability. And this can also be in how you operate in your daily life. Finding stability, something to push up against to give you that sense of resistance in a positive light here, can help you to build and grow. So it's hard to build something when you're floating in the ethers, which essentially is what Pisces season is. March is Pisces season. And so it can be challenging to build something concrete when you're floating in midair or you're floating in the water. So having some resistance or something solid that you can sort of push against and start to build off of is going to be really supportive for you this month, especially if you're looking to create something physical and tangible. If you're looking to have those results show up for you down the line, or even to start to see some progress this month, I highly recommend finding some stability, some stable ground, a foundation that you can build on in a really solid way that's going to provide you with room to grow. I also see a need for adaptability this month for you as well. So yes, find the stable structures that are going to help you to build, but also be adaptable and flexible in how that might look, especially as it was relating to that quote unquote reward. Be open to being adaptable with your expectations, or even better, to take your expectations off the table entirely and leave yourself open to whatever comes your way. Another thing that I'm seeing, a theme that I'm seeing for March here for you, Aries, is possibly also breaking loyalty from people, jobs, living situations, relationships, really anything at all that is not aligned with you any longer. So I just heard the term quiet quitting. I know that this is a new term. I learned it fairly recently, and this could be something that's happening for you in March as well. So just slowly pulling back your energy, slowly reinvesting your time, your effort, your focus into something that's going to feel more empowering and more aligned for you. And doing this in a subtle way can help to not ruffle any feathers or, send out any red flags to people who might be watching to see what you're doing, especially if they're invested in getting something out of your loyalty that was serving them but was perhaps not really serving you. So I see you questioning where your loyalties lie and whether or not those loyalties are serving you. Does it help you to feel empowered? Does it give you energy? Does it bring you joy? Is it serving you? And if the answer is no, then you want to address what you're investing and how much you're willing to give. So reprioritization is another theme that I see here for March, along those lines. Reprioritizing where you're putting your time, your energy, your focus, your loyalty. I see you chasing a goal. You're going after something. There's a larger purpose here that you are consciously working toward. And it's like it's been dangling in front of your face for a long time. And maybe the loyalty that you had to these old systems, structures, environments, or people were dangling the carrot in front of you, saying, this is what you want. I'm going to give that to you if you just do this. So it feels like a very sort of conditional type of energy that left you in this perpetual state of chasing and trying to do better, to do more, to be more valuable, to output, just to work harder, to have your value be known or be seen or be appreciated, and to receive that loyalty in return. But I see that didn't happen in some cases here. Now that might not apply to everybody, but I see in these cards the energy of a lack of reciprocation. And that's why that loyalty might be being pulled back this month. So reinvesting is going to help you to focus on what it is that you're trying to create and why you're trying to create that, and aligning you with people who are going to be better suited to mutually supportive relationships that both can help to provide for one another and support one another in achieving your overall goals and purposes. So I don't see you continuing in the way that you have before. So March may be a very pivotal month for you. There might be a lot of changes that take place. But overall, I do see this working out in the long run. I do see success here. I do see you still going after what it is that you desire and what it is that you want, and eventually getting to a point where you start to see some of the return on that, where you start to see some progress. Okay. Now let's also take a look at the oracle card that we have for you this month. And I'm using the Moonology deck. You guys got the Don't Let Pride Get in Your Way card, which is the full moon in Leo. So when I see this card, Don't Let Pride Get in Your Way, in relation to the rest of the cards on the table here, this really feels to me very similar to kind of divesting your energy, your time, your capacity into these relationships that were disempowering. Sometimes pride doesn't want us to give up on something that we've been working towards or we've invested a lot of time into. Sometimes pride doesn't want us to set a boundary or to admit that we don't have the capacity to continue in the way that we have. So this is where I'm seeing that come into the equation here. So not letting pride get in the way might look like being willing to be vulnerable and to communicate how you're actually feeling, set some boundaries with people, if nothing else, right? If it's not fully walking away, then it's communicating where you're at, what you need, and what you're capable of, expressing essentially what your limits are. And this can feel quite vulnerable. So the ego often seeks to, prevent us from doing that, or it will resist taking that action. But I see that taking that action, setting the boundary, communicating the limitations, the needs, the capacity, the desires, that's actually going to help to get them achieved, fulfilled, your needs met, your capacity respected, your limits honored. That's what's going to get you to moving further toward the goal and having that firm foundation on which you can build. So don't let your pride get in the way this month, especially in situations where you've invested a lot of loyalty and you have not seen a return on that investment. All right, Aries, so that is your reading for March. Also check out your other signs, your moon, your rising, your sun, if this wasn't your sun. And let me know how it resonated. I'm sending you lots of love for March and beyond. And if you'd like a personal reading with me to dive deeper into the energies that you may be working with this month, I would advise you to check out my services in the link below at ToKittyandBeyond.com. Much love, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye. All right. Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your March 2023 monthly reading. You guys got the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Three of Cups. So, wow, Taurus, this is looking like a really powerful, successful, amazing month for you. I'm really looking forward to hearing how this ends up playing out for you. So the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles here, this speaks to me of balance. You are so in harmony. You are on point. You've got your ish together. You are really, really at one with yourself, or working well with others, or you're just really in your groove and things are moving along really well. I also see you really feeling satisfied. So this is fantastic. I get this sense that there's satisfaction in what you're doing. There's fulfillment in how you're feeling this month, especially around your material needs being met, and especially around work and finances. So there's a lot of opportunity for you this month to really step into your king, your queen energy, to really stand in your power, to own your career, to own your work, to really be efficient and effective, and to have an abundance of either time or energy or money to show for it. So it feels like success. It smells like success this month. Taurus, I'm so excited for you. The King and Queen of Pentacles could also be a relationship. This could be a husband and a wife. It could be two team members or partners. This could even be a mother and a father, or a boyfriend and a girlfriend. The King and Queen are counterparts. So it's either happening within yourself, that you're balancing your masculine and your feminine energies, or this is showing up as two individuals who are there to support you, or perhaps you are one of these, either king or queen, and then the counterpart is present as well, working together towards a common goal that's going to bring a lot of success. I feel like this, if it's an inner harmony, an inner balance, an inner union of your masculine and feminine, that you are really grounding and embodying that energy. So what does that actually mean, and what does that look like? Well, essentially the masculine polarity is our ability to take action, to do, to create, to protect, to liberate, to lead. And the feminine energy is our ability to receive, our ability to feel, to heal, to listen, and to imagine. So when you have both of these qualities working in balance within you, that's when things can really start to move forward. And we see that with the Chariot card. it's like things are moving forward and there's a lot of luxury and success as a result of that. So this might even just look like you really indulging and enjoying, the comforts of life, having some time on the couch and enjoying, luxuriating in your safe home, especially since March, Venus is moving into, what is it? Venus is moving into Taurus, yeah. And Mars is moving into Cancer. So both of those, Taurus and Cancer, Venus, Mars, these are really homey types of energies that want you to kind of hunker down and invest in the simple pleasures of life, really having the time and space to prioritize family, to prioritize your finances, the food you eat, the way that you move and treat your body. All of those things are going to come into play. But with the Chariot here, I really see opportunity to move forward in a way that feels comfortable for you. So sometimes when we're in a growth phase, it's uncomfortable. So I don't think March is necessarily a growth phase for you. There may be some healing and other things going on, of course, under the surface. But I definitely feel this sense of stability and groundedness and embodiment. So I feel like perhaps you've been going through a growth phase leading up to March, and now you're very grounded and you're in this new space that you've created. You're feeling confident, you're feeling comfortable because the new has now become the norm. You've gotten to this point and you've been here at least for a short period of time, if not a long time, and you're enjoying the space that you've cultivated, that you've created. You birthed this, and it is something to be proud of. And we see that with the Three of Cups, really being able to enjoy and celebrate what it is that you've been able to achieve here. So sharing that with others is a great way to really embody the energy of that celebration. Cheering for yourself is fantastic, but when you can get those who really support you together in a room, or call them and let them know how you're feeling and where you're at, especially if you worked really hard to get to this point. It's like it can be worth it to celebrate in a more traditional way. Maybe that means going out for dinner or drinks, or getting together and having a group night where you get to hang out together and celebrate what you've been able to achieve. Like a housewarming party type of feel. That's what I'm getting from the Three of Cups here. It's celebration, but it's also very grounded and very practical and luxuriating. So focusing on, those Venus in Taurus types of themes, like good food, good company, comfort. So this month is really looking like a lot of growth and progress that you've made is paying off. You're getting the rewards of that. You're getting the return on your investment this month. So that's really a beautiful thing. Let me see what else is coming up here. Nourishment. Yeah, so Venus and Taurus might be calling you to nourish yourself in different ways as well. Maybe cultivating more rest in your life, especially if you worked really hard, and taking the time to eat foods that fuel you, that bring a sense of joy to your life. Drinking lots of water, literally hydrating, because they're drawing my attention to the Three of Cups and the cats drinking out of the water bowls, and they're drawing my attention to the fact that my mouth feels dry. So quite literally hydrating your body, feeding and nourishing your body, resting your body. There may be a big emphasis this month on really luxuriating in some of that self-care practice as a way of enjoying what you've been able to achieve or accomplish, and also as a means of sustainable self preservation, really, because especially if you worked quite sustainably, quite hard towards this goal, there is a need to maintain the self so that when the time comes, you can continue to move forward. Now let's take a look at your oracle cards. You have Believe in the Impossible, which is blue moon energy. And you also have a Time for Healing, which is balsamic moon energy. So this is fantastic. Believing in the impossible. So if you're not seeing this level of success that I'm seeing here on the table, or that I'm feeling as I tap into your energy, then believe in the impossible. Believe in your ability to have this show up for you. Because as you shift your vibration, as you believe it to be true, and more importantly, as you take action towards that, because belief will only get you part of the way. That will manifest at the 4th dimensional level. But when we're trying to manifest at the 3rd dimensional level, we need to employ action. We actually need to sustainably change what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, which will shift the frequency and the vibration that we're operating and emitting at, and therefore change the circumstances that we're creating and attracting. So believe in the impossible here, Taurus, because this is a once in a blue moon opportunity. If you've worked really hard to get here, like I said, enjoy it. This is a time for healing for you, but I don't see this as a time of, hard work type of healing. This isn't necessarily the phase for you to be diving deep into shadow work, unless that's what you're called to do. Of course, listen to what you need at each point in your spiritual journey. And what I see here is that the healing is not necessarily going to be that deep, hard, grueling type of healing. It's going to be the type of healing that comes from the joy, the pleasure, the relaxation that living in a physical body can bring you. Having, positive sensory experiences and positive connections with family and friends, and enjoying your food and your home and your ability to support yourself and to provide for your needs. So these are the type of things that are going to be healing for you this month. And allowing yourself to take time out for those types of healing is really important, because I think a lot of the time we can really associate healing with that dark, heavy, uncomfortable type of healing, and that's definitely important. And so is this. Happy healing. If I had to name your reading, it would be Happy Healing Leads to Abundance. Something like that. So, Taurus, that is what I see for you in the month of March. I'm sending you lots of blessings for this month and beyond. And let me know how this resonated for you in the comments below. If you would like to get deeper into what's going on in your personal life through a one-on-one reading with me, I would point you down to the link in the description box, and you can check out my services at ToKittyandBeyond.com. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and we will see you next time. Bye. All right, hi Gemini, welcome to your March 2023 monthly reading. You guys have the 5 of Swords, the Queen of Swords in reverse, the 3 of Wands, and the Lovers. So Gemini, this month is feeling a little bit mixed. I'm picking up on a little bit of some conflict or disagreements at the mental level with other people around you. You may not be communicating at your best this month, and people kind of might be appearing as though they're turning their back on you. There could be a lack of understanding, and that's why it's showing up in that way. It's like you're trying to say something and it's being misunderstood, or it's not getting across. And there could be conflict or disagreement because of that. So what I would recommend here this month is to be mindful of the words that you're choosing. Be mindful of the inflection or tone of your voice. Be mindful in how you listen to others as well. This could be a better month for you to really listen and reflect back on what the person is saying to you than it would be to really try to communicate from your end only. So I feel like there is opportunity for understanding here and to bridge this gap of miscommunication. The way to do that is going to be through mutual feedback. So essentially what I'm seeing here is it's almost like a more intentional, conscious form of communication. Instead of just saying something and then having the other person respond with their thoughts and then continuing to respond with yours and back and forth like a tennis match. This is more of what I'm hearing you say is, and then repeating back what you heard them say, and this is what I'm taking from that, and then elaborating on how you interpreted what they said, and then encouraging the other person to do the same. This is really going to help to kind of cut through some of the for whatever reason, cut through the mustard is coming up as a term. I've never used that in my life. But it's almost like you're cutting through the distortion, or you're cutting through the misunderstanding and getting to the clarity that both people are ultimately seeking here. Because really, when we're communicating, that's what we desire. We desire to be heard, and ultimately we desire to be understood. So when we're communicating this month, try practicing that conscious communication style and see where that gets you, especially if you try communicating in your normal way and it's not landing well, or it's just leaving you feeling misunderstood, or other people are getting their feathers ruffled because they're misunderstanding what it is that you're trying to say. I do see an opportunity for connection this month, especially if those communication styles are altered slightly. And that communication is actually going to be really beautiful. So there can actually be a lot more understanding and a lot more connection that is possible for you this month than it normally would be. So despite the fact that there's some challenges here around communication and getting your point across or being understood, I do see that challenge is actually coming up as an opportunity. It's coming up as a catalyst for you to address how you communicate and how you understood and are understood by others, how you understand and are understood by others. That's where the connections are going to come in. That's where the beauty of this understanding is really going to help to deepen the love, the acceptance, the understanding that every party here really desires. That's where the lover's energy comes in. It's like this mutual understanding that really just builds strong connection. Bonding is what I see here. Bonding through this conscious communication style, because it allows for this understanding to occur. Okay, let's see what else is coming up for you this month. If you're in your head a lot this month, Gemini, if you find that your thoughts are getting away from you and you're having a hard time communicating or putting into words what it is that you want to say, it might be better for you to write it down. Sometimes having a little bit of time and space to contemplate what it is that you're wanting to say through the written word can be more efficient or concise than through the spoken word. So it gives you more time to reflect on what you want to say, to edit what you want to say, to make sure that you're using the right words in the right way at the right time to be able to communicate what it is that you're meaning to. So that's something that I see here, and that's really interesting. So you might be communicating with people far away or at a distance through the written word. So this could be texting, it could be emails, it could be writing something down and then publishing it, making content. It could be writing a story, it could be writing your story. Whatever this is, it feels like written word is actually going to serve you quite well this month, and it's going to help you to get the point across. So those two styles of communication, conscious communication, with the intention of understanding, and written word if you're just wanting to get your point across. That's really interesting. And even if you feel like people aren't listening, I would say go ahead and post it anyway, because eventually the right people are going to be drawn to it. So you might not get the feedback that you're expecting right away. So for example, let's say you write a short story and you self-publish it. You may have very limited interaction with that in the month of March. Let's say you publish it at the very beginning of March. By the end of March, it's like 3 people have read it, and you're disappointed. But I do see that the momentum of the attraction by people who actually resonate with and will benefit from what it is that you've written down or what it is that you've said, they're going to be attracted, but it's going to be later on. This could be weeks later, months later, or years later. I don't see the timelines here, but I do see that it's going to unfold. It's just, it needs some time to percolate, or it needs some time to kind of be out there in the world, giving off or emitting that frequency before people will eventually be attracted to it. Beautiful. An additional message coming through here for you, Gemini, is to let your light shine. So just because there may be some communication issues, or there may be the appearance of not being seen or understood, or your message not getting across, the message from Spirit is still, despite all of that, to shine your light. Shine your light and shine it brightly. So communicate. Express your love, express your imagination, your ideas, your thoughts, your internal world. Really sharing that this month is actually going to be very, very beneficial. It could feel very uncomfortable. Being vulnerable and speaking your truth authentically, without sugarcoating it, without, walking on eggshells around people who might not agree. It can be polarizing, and maybe that's why some people that are around you just don't understand it, because they're not on that frequency. Maybe especially if you've been communicating in a way that was a little bit masked or veiled. If you were sugarcoating for a long time, and then all of a sudden now you're showing up very raw and authentic, the people who are used to understanding you are going to be confused. They're not going to resonate with that frequency, but they're not meant to. Because as you're showing up authentically in your raw essence, your pure light, that might trigger those who have been used to having things be a little bit more rose-colored glasses for them, a little bit less controversial or triggering or raw and real. So this may be why that message of the audience or the responders to what it is that you're wanting to communicate or express are showing up later. It's because perhaps the people who you have around you right now are not in resonance with this authentic expression that you're ultimately being nudged to communicate. And so it does take a little while for the aligned, resonant listeners, audience, viewers, friends, family, etc., to be attracted to that message. But they will be there, because that frequency is unique. So that's a very interesting message that I'm interested to see how that plays out for you, for us this month. I'm a Gemini rising. Now let's look at your oracle cards. You have step out of your comfort zone, which is the North Node, and you have don't let your past hold you back, which is the South Node. So you have both of the nodes here. The North Node is concerned with your purpose, your direction in life, and what you're here to learn and develop skill-wise at soul level. The South Node is concerned with your past, the things that you are skilled at, but also that you may have become very rigid, dogmatic, or very comfortable with, very entrenched in. So the North Node is calling you to step out of your comfort zone, and that's kind of what I was picking up on when it comes to communicating in a new way, expressing yourself in a way that feels more raw, more vulnerable, more authentic, and more concise and to the point. The past may be to continue communicating in a way that isn't going to be so polarizing, but you are being asked to step out of this comfort zone because it's part of your purpose, because it's part of what you're here to do. Geminis are here to communicate. That's why most rappers are Gemini suns or risings. A lot of prolific writers, speakers, teachers, they all have Gemini somewhere in their top 3. The reason being is because Gemini is the sign of communication. So this is part of your purpose. It's part of what you're here to do. And if you're not doing that in a way that feels authentic and aligned for you, then you're not going to actually feel the sense of fulfillment and growth that your soul is desiring from this lifetime. And when you do step into, or rather out of, your comfort zone to step into your authentic expression, I see a lot of love coming. So the feedback may initially be a little bit like crickets. No response, just flatlining. But then, out of nowhere, a huge rush of love, a huge rush of connection and understanding, and an outpouring of, oh, this resonates with me, and wow, I'm so thankful, that's so relatable, or oh my gosh, I finally understand what you've been trying to say, or I finally understand what you've been going through all this time. That's what's going to eventually come out of that. So this is definitely something destined for you. So March is feeling like a really big month that is really propelling you outside of your comfort zone and into your destiny at soul level. So good luck. Good luck to us. So that is your reading for March, Gemini. I hope that it resonated and that it helped you in some way. If it did, leave me comments down below to let me know. And if you would like support in stepping further into your aligned expression or understanding who you are and what you need at soul level, I have tons of services to help support you in your spiritual growth. So you can check them out in the description box below at the link ToKittyandBeyond.com. Sending you lots of love for March and beyond, and we'll see you next time. Bye. All right. Hi, Cancer. Welcome to your March 2023 monthly reading. This month you have the Chariot, the Page of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Six of Cups. So, Cancer, March is feeling like you're going to be in your energy. So what do I mean by that? Well, the first card you have is the Chariot, and that is ruled by Cancer. So I get this sense of like comfort and luxury, very similar to the Taurus reading. So if you have Taurus in your top 3 as well, this could be an even more significant message for you. But the Chariot here is just feeling to me like you have a real sense of accomplishment and success within yourself, and you're really feeling almost nostalgic or very relaxed and comfortable this month. The Page of Swords feels playful to me here in this reading, very childlike, and it's innocent. It's this innocent feeling of just having the free time to be able to play, or having the mentality that you're able to just enjoy yourself. That's really what I feel for you this month. The Queen of Wands, I mean, if you look at this card, how happy and luxuriating does this cat look? Lying on a soft pillow with the toy in its hand and the fireplace warming in the background. It just feels very safe, very comfortable, and very enjoyable. And that Six of Cups here as well, it's like happy family, nostalgia, your needs being met, feeling safe. I also get a real strong feeling of innocence from the Six of Cups here as well, with the little kitten here. So it feels like this month is going to be a month for you to really enjoy your home time, to really enjoy the comforts of, the simple pleasures of life, and to connect with children as well. So this could be children in your family, this could be your inner child as well, but really just connecting to that innocence and that playfulness and the comfort, the nostalgia, and the fun and the joy that can really come from that. I think that's going to be a big factor in you feeling really contented, fulfilled, and having a good time this month in March. So this is looking like a wonderful month for you. Let's take a look and see what else is coming up here. Yeah, the theme of play keeps coming up to me. They've just drawn my attention to the dreidel on the floor underneath the chariot. So it's a toy that we play with, and it's fun to just enjoy. It feels really, really nice, really light energy. This is great, especially since there's a lot going on in March. It's a really big month astrologically. And so it can have some pretty hard-hitting energy. So for you, Cancer, it's really calling you to just kind of hunker down and connect to the simple joys of life, your own innocence, your own sense of play and enjoyment, and just feeling into what your heart needs. I feel a real heart-centered energy for you this month that's being activated. And this is coming up through your relationship with yourself, as well as your relationship to your inner child, your sense of play, your family, your home environment as well, and even your romantic relationships and friendships too. So this month is a great time for you to feel really safe in your body, to feel very safe in your home and connected with your family. This is fantastic. I am so happy to see this, Cancer. Let's see what else. What other messages are coming through for you? Yeah, I see a lot of inside energy, so you may be spending a lot of time indoors this month. There could be weather outside that is preventing you from going and playing out of doors. That could be a message for someone specific. Like maybe it snowed a lot and you're not able to get outside, and so you're just staying inside where it's warm and cozy. Or maybe, there's something going on outside that it's just preferable to you to stay inside with your family or on your own and just really enjoying your quality time with yourself and your loved ones. But I don't see this as a negative thing. I see this as a really good opportunity for you. So maybe, you have to take the day off work, or it's a snow day. It's, and it feels like, oh no, what am I going to do? But it actually turns out really well. And there's a lot of opportunity here to just have fun and to enjoy your day or your time. There's a lot that can grow from this, is what I'm feeling. So this month, this feeling that I'm getting of safety, security, connection, playfulness, innocence, that energy is going to help you to cultivate action moving forward. And it's going to produce really good results in the long run. So allow yourself the time and the space to be able to be in this energy, or to intentionally cultivate this energy for yourself and your family, because it's really going to serve you long term, especially in your relationships and your connections. It's going to heal some relationships that needed healing, perhaps. It's going to foster deeper connections and a greater sense of security in your relationships of all kinds. As you feel safe within yourself, that's going to resonate out and impact how you interact with other people. And the oracle card that you have this month is a win-win outcome is forecast, which is the full moon in Libra energy. So again, Libra is to do with relationships. Full moon is to do with this energy of harvest and fullness and completion. It's where everything is really abundant. So this is a great energy, and it's a win-win. It's a win-win outcome. So this month, whatever happens here with this very cozy, playful, innocent energy, it's a win-win. Everybody's happy. Everybody gets something out of it. Even though initially it might look like a problem or a challenge, it's actually a blessing in disguise. And there's going to be a win-win situation that really comes from that. And especially, like I've been saying, in terms of your relationships. So this is looking like a really positive, very comfy, cozy month for you, Cancer. Let me know how this plays out. This sounds fantastic. So that is your reading for March. I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out, and I'm sending you so much love for this month and beyond. If you would like to go deeper into the energy of this month, or your circumstances right now, or your family dynamics, or even just your own personal healing, check out the services at the link in my description box below. ToKittyandBeyond.com is my website, and you can find all of my services there to support you. Sending lots of love. Have a great month, and we'll see you next time. Bye. All right. Hi, Leo. Welcome to your March 2023 monthly reading. You have the Queen of Swords reversed, the Strength card reversed, the Seven of Wands reversed, and the Eight of Swords upright. Okay, so looking like some challenging energy for you this month, Leo. 3 reversals out of 4 cards. Sometimes this can represent some stuck energy, some blockages, especially since the only upright card is an energy of stuckness. Feeling trapped inside your own head or overwhelmed by your own thoughts, especially thoughts that feel limiting, negative, self-effacing, or any black and white thinking that really keeps you stuck in a particular paradigm that's really not serving you and your growth. The Queen of Swords reversed here also showed up, I believe, in the Gemini reading, but I'm seeing it a little bit different here for you. It feels like there's a lack of communication, whereas in the Gemini reading, it was perhaps finding new ways of communicating. This Queen of Swords in your reading, Leo, feels like there's a lack of communication. So you're not being given the answers. You're not being given the information, or at least you feel that way. And perhaps that's why your strength is being tested here. The Strength card in reverse is asking you to create inner fortitude, to have an internal sense of strength, but that's being tested when you feel like you don't have the answers, when you feel like you're being left in the dark. That's the time that it's hardest to practice your faith, to trust, and to continue to have that inner strength and resolve to continue moving forward. And that's where the Seven of Wands comes in as well. The Seven of Wands is usually a defensive type of energy, and it's about standing your ground. This one here feels a little bit different to me. It feels more like you've kind of been testing the waters and trying to see what will work. And it feels like in some ways you've been trying to make things work maybe that weren't. It's like things are upside down right now. It's why there's all these reversals in your reading. It feels like things are just upside down. They're a little bit out of whack. And this Seven of Wands energy, instead of asking you to stand your ground in that energy and continue trying to do things that aren't really working, or defending your stance when maybe it's really not a good position to be in. This Seven of Wands is asking you to maybe shift your perspective, especially since it's coming right before that Eight of Swords. It's shifting your perspective, changing up your stance. moving to a different space to be able to get a little bit more clarity. I just heard, are you willing to die on that hill? So the term die on that hill refers to, a belief or an idea or an ideology that you believe in so deeply that you're willing to quote unquote die on that hill. I will go to the end of my days to defend this topic, this belief, this idea. So the question being asked to you by Spirit is, are you willing to die on that hill? Is it worth dying on that hill? Is the belief, the ideology, the land that you're currently defending, is it worth it? If the answer is no, then this is an opportunity for you to reassess what it is that you actually want, and more importantly, what you actually need. And if that's somewhere else, or how you can cultivate that in a new way within yourself by shifting your beliefs or how you approach the situation or the problem. And if it is worth dying on that hill, then it becomes about how do you defend that? How do you continue to grow that thought, that belief, that ideology, or to protect that territory that you've worked so hard to maintain, sustain, or even acquire? I see a lot of inner resolve being tested, like I said, with that strength card here. And a lot of it is in your beliefs. It's how you think about things. It's your thoughts. And how your thoughts influence and impact the outcomes that you're seeing in your life through, essentially, your actions. Thoughts become things when we take action on them, especially when those actions are repetitive, because the thoughts or the beliefs are repetitive or they've been held for quite a long time. So the reassessment of your thoughts and your beliefs is really going to serve you this month, Leo, because it's going to give you the opportunity to free yourself from some mental traps that you may have been in, circling around and around and around without getting anywhere, and using up a lot of your energy, essentially wasting your energy on these lines of thought or beliefs that are really just keeping you limited and stuck. They're hampering your growth. So continuing to do the same thing is not going to change that. That's where this month it does test your fortitude. It does test your inner resolve, because it's almost as though you're not content with where you're at necessarily, perhaps, but you also don't necessarily know where it is that you're wanting to go. And if you do know where you're wanting to go, or what you're wanting to embody or experience, the question then becomes, how do you get there? And that may be where the answers are a little bit foggy or lacking. That being said, you do have 2 oracle cards here. You have the full moon in Libra with a win-win outcome as forecast, and you have the full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. So I really love that this full moon in Gemini energy is here, because it is going to bring you those answers. Not necessarily the full moon in Gemini, although it could be referring to that, whenever that happens to be, but it just feels more to me as though those answers that you have come up with nothing on, it's like you've asked the question, but you're not getting the answer, or you're not getting the feedback, or you're not seeing the solution to the problem. You're only continuing to see the problem. Spirit is letting you know that the answers you need are coming. They're not here, but they're coming. That's why the inner strength is tested here. You have to trust that the answers are coming. It will make sense in the end, especially with a full moon in Libra energy predicting a win-win outcome. It can't get much clearer than that. This is going to be something that serves you in the long run, although it may not feel like it right now at this point. The full moon in Libra energy really helps you to find balance. It helps you to heal the relationship with yourself. It helps you to feel and connect to the beauty in the world around you. And it also helps you to cultivate healthy, happy, harmonious relationships with other people. And I see a lot of isolation in the tarot cards that we have here. They're all single cats. So you may be feeling isolated, cut off from spirit, cut off from friends, cut off from family, cut off from loved ones. And this is how spirit is testing you. Can you be within your own energy and find a way out? Can you be within your own dysfunction and be so determined to find a solution to that or to find a way out that you surrender, that you allow this process to take place in whatever way, shape, or form that looks like for you? It's like just allowing your higher self, God, source, the universe, to take over and lead you to where you need to go. It's up to you to take the action to back that up. But at this phase for you, it's really about stepping back and just going into the observer role, really detaching from what's happening and the potential outcome. Though it does look positive. The answers are coming, and it's going to prove successful. All right, that is your reading for the month of March. Leo, I hope that it resonated and that it served you in some way. Let me know in the comments below how it impacted you. And if you're looking to go a little bit deeper into your own personal needs at soul level, I recommend checking out the services at the link in my bio through my website, ToKittyandBeyond.com. Sending you lots of love for March and beyond. We'll see you next time. Bye. All right. Hi, Virgo. Welcome to your March 2023 monthly reading. You got the Hermit card, the Four of Swords reversed, the Eight of Wands reversed, and the Five of Pentacles. So, Virgo, I like that the first card out of the gate here is the Hermit. That's represented by Virgo, or it's ruled by Virgo. So this is your energy showing up in the reading. Now, I see this month that you may start out the month feeling a little bit timid or holding back or hiding yourself away from the world. And this could be for the purpose of rest. With the Four of Swords here, but it is reversed. So it feels to me like there's some hesitation happening. There's hesitation to take action. There's hesitation to move outside your comfort zone or to explore something unknown. And you may be, in this sense, unproductively resting. Now, what does that mean? Well, essentially, any seemingly positive act, if done for the wrong reasons or with the wrong energetic frequency or implemented through a distorted frequency, it can produce results that we don't actually want. So, for example, resting can be very productive. Spending time alone can be very productive when that's what we need. If, however, that's not what we need at that particular moment, and we're just doing it because it feels comfortable or because it's what we think we need, that's when issues can start to arise. And I see that here with the Eight of Wands reversed. It's like something that should be moving forward is not. And there's frustration as a result of that. And this is not necessarily the fact that something outside of you is not moving along. It feels to me as though you taking action towards creating momentum with something is not happening. So even though you might be saying, well, it's the outside, the external reality that's not reflecting back to me what I desire, what I'm seeing in the cards is actually that there's a lack of action moving towards the goal that you desire. Oh, another message just came through. This could also be a form of quote unquote productive rest that's actually a distraction. So it's not that you're not doing anything. You could be doing other things. You could be soul searching in other areas, or you could be being productive, but in an area that's not actually giving you the results that you're needing at soul level. So what could this look like? Let's play with some examples here. This could look like really focusing on getting your house in order and organizing things, when really in reality what your soul is desiring is to start a business and start promoting yourself and start getting yourself out there. Or for example, in another sense, it could be that you're working really hard at your career, you're investing all this time and energy in a particular project, but what your soul is really desiring is to go deeper into your personal healing journey. So those are just some very different examples of how this energy could play out for you this month, or it could already be playing out. So what Spirit is advising is essentially for you to tap into what the deeper desire actually is, and then compare and contrast that to your actions. What are you doing to support the needs that you have within your core? What actions can you take, big or small, to support you moving towards that goal? Because until you take action here, it's going to continue feeling as though you don't have enough. It's going to continue feeling as though things are stuck or stagnant. And there may be this feeling of inner tension and this feeling of unfulfillment that can lead to resentment towards yourself and others. It can even manifest as jealousy. So if you're feeling any type of jealousy when you look at other people being successful at what they're doing, that's actually a great trigger point that's trying to let you know that there's something within you that desires to express in a similar way, maybe not exactly the same, but it's looking to show up in a way that will fulfill you. And by not doing that, by holding yourself back out of fear or whatever else, essentially it just builds that resistance that shows up as resentment towards others or yourself. So this is definitely a time to take action, Virgo. And no coincidence, the oracle card you have for this month is the new moon in Aries, which is it's time to take action. So the tarot cards and the oracle card are both reiterating this fact that March is go time for you, Virgo. This is the time to start implementing practical, sustainable, actionable changes in your life that are going to lead you to the results that you desire. And you may not know exactly how to do that yet or what to do, but just keep moving, just keep doing, keep experimenting. And if you do know what to do and you haven't been doing it, then simply address the part of you where there's resistance, possibly fear, doubt, maybe even shame, who knows? But there's probably a part of you that's pulling against or resisting this growth. The Hermit card can help you to see that clearly. It's going to help you to look within and introspect into these deeper needs with you within that soul level. perhaps identifying a part of you from your childhood, an inner child wound that fears putting yourself out there or trying something new or taking action in a line of thought or creation that is unfamiliar. Especially if you don't know what the outcome will be. Now, that being said, the Five of Wands, as the last card in the reading here, is actually a good omen. The Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles here usually indicates lack, feeling left out in the cold, not having your needs met, and trying to go it alone without much result. But this Five of Pentacles in this particular deck shows two cats coming together on a windowsill, enjoying the day with some treats between them. So instead of lack, there's abundance. Instead of loneliness and isolation, there's connection. So you start with the Hermit, where there's timidity and resistance to coming out of your shell, connecting with other people, taking action, and you end with the Five of Pentacles, which in this deck is connection and abundance. So I really see this month challenging you a little bit to get out of your comfort zone and take the action that you're inspired to take, because it's going to move you out of that energy of lack, the energy of unfulfillment, the energy of frustration or resentment or resistance. And it's going to put you in a line of connection. It's going to put you into growth phase that's going to actually provide for your needs in a completely new way that you perhaps were not expecting. You may have expected that these actions would lead to the Five of Pentacles in the traditional tarot, which is not having enough, but it actually leads, surprisingly, to more than enough. More than enough in the sense that you can actually share it with others. So it might feel unexpected, but ultimately, it's very supportive. I really like this energy for you, Virgo. So as we move through Pisces season and into Aries season, kind of bolster your reserves to start getting yourself prepared to take action. And if you find yourself spinning your wheels and not knowing where to start or what to do, just do what you can. Just take the first step. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't even have to be in the right direction. It's kind of like just, like break the seal almost, in action. And it's like the momentum will just start to build, and you can course correct as you go along, and you can redirect or whatever you need to do. But just take one step and see how that feels, and then keep going from there. So that is your reading for March, Virgo. I really hope that this resonated and supported you. Let me know in the comments below if it did or how it did. And if you're looking for more personal insight and healing or guidance along your journey, check out the services that I have available in my website at the link below in the description box to my website, ToKittyandBeyond.com. I have lots of personalized services to support you in your soul growth in this lifetime. Sending you so much love for March and beyond. We'll see you next time. Bye. All right. Hi, Libra. Welcome to your March 2023 monthly reading. You have the Knight of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Three of Swords, and the Tower card. So, Libra, this month is looking a little bit rocky. I'm not going to lie. It feels like there's conflict here, especially in your mind. So your thoughts might be racing this month. You could find that you're up against some beliefs that are really restrictive to you, or that are taking a lot of your energy away, especially if those thoughts center around past wounds, relationships, trauma, breakups, issues of pain or betrayal that have happened in the past. Now, the Tower card here is coming in and really challenging you to see your thoughts that are not aligned as flawed. So you may come up against some real life challenges that are expressing to you in a very physical, manifested way where your thoughts are unaligned. So what Spirit wants you to do this month is to pay very close attention to the circumstances that are showing up in your life and to reflect on how those circumstances are being attracted or created by the thoughts and beliefs that you're holding on to or that you're investing a lot of energy into. The other message that came through really loud and clear for you, even before I started recording, was look before you leap. So Libra, if you are jumping to conclusions, if you are finding it very challenging to temper your impulses, especially as it relates to your thoughts, your beliefs, or even your communication with other people, the guidance here is to pause, to look before you leap, to think before you speak, to contemplate before you take the action or before you jump to the conclusion. Allow the feedback from around you within your environment or within your relationships to speak to you about what it is that you're believing or expecting about the situation. There's two sides to this energy that I'm also seeing. There's the expectation of limitation. There's the expectation of restriction. But I also see a lot of fast-moving energy, very abrupt or even unexpected energy that's seeking to come in and shake things up for you. March is a very big astrological month. So there's a ton of big transits that are happening that are going to impact everybody a little bit differently, but collectively it's a big shakeup here. And so Libra, what I'm seeing for you in relation to those energies is really concerning this a little bit of imbalance between the thoughts that are moving very quickly and the manifestations that are coming in also equally as quickly, as opposed to or opposing the restriction that some of those thoughts are creating. So this month is looking like a really great opportunity for you to free yourself from the limitations, to free yourself from the thinking that has led to the issues. So this could look like, for example, thoughts or beliefs around who you are or what you deserve that unconsciously may have in the past or even in the present led you into situations or relationships, for example, that really showed you in that way what those beliefs were. So for example, believing in unworthiness and then attracting relationships that really kind of confirmed that for you. People treating you as though you were unworthy, not meeting your needs, not respecting you, those kinds of things, not being loyal, etc. Now, that does not mean that the thought is true. Just because the experience, quote unquote, confirmed it, does not mean that it's true. It just means that the thought is so powerful and the belief that you're holding is so strong that it's manifesting in a very tangible way. So really, what these energies are encouraging you to do is to divest your energy from the limitations of the beliefs that you have about yourself based on the circumstances that you've been through in the past. So doing some healing work might be a great way to use this energy efficiently. Doing some introspection may be useful as well, or maybe even seeking out a new line of thought, seeking out information, or possibly even other people who are embodied in the frequency that you're looking to create or to have for yourself. So people who think in a different way than you, and therefore they have different results. So if you want to get from point A to point B, the goal is to see where point B actually is, and looking at the people who are already over there and asking yourself, what do I need to do to adjust where I am to get there? Part of this is an act of faith, which is kind of like taking a leap of faith. Now, they did say, look before you leap. So don't just jump into things at first glance without doing a little bit of digging or research. Not to try and find flaws in the system, but simply to ensure that the vibration of the individual or of the circumstance that you're seeing or that you're imagining actually is aligned to what it is that you're looking to experience or create. Now, the oracle cards that you have here are the Blue Moon, which says believe in the impossible, and the Balsamic Moon, which says it's a time for healing. These two cards came out in this order in one other reading, and that was Taurus. So if you have Taurus energy in your chart, specifically in your top 3, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this could be an additional message for you to really pay attention to, because this energy of believing in the impossible, once in a blue moon type of energy, it's rare, it's uncommon, it's unexpected. And the additional message around a time for healing really speaks to what we were seeing here in the reading in regard to your thoughts, in regard to unexpected changes or shakeups coming in to bring your awareness to where these thoughts and beliefs are creating circumstances or building foundations that are not stable for you because they're not actually aligned with who you are at a core level. There's some kind of distortion in the projection. And so the result is not going to be stable. It's not going to be sustainable. So healing is definitely encouraged. And to do that, it is about your belief. So believing in the impossible, especially if this is something you've never experienced. It does take faith. It does take a little bit of a leap to be able to get to that point of belief. You do have to hold that faith, hold that belief, hold that thing that feels untrue, and not out of delusion, but out of a knowing that all things are true. And it really boils down to what you choose to create. So anything can become true for you based on what you believe. It doesn't mean that it's inherently true. It just means that it's going to appear as though it's true because you're going to manifest the result that quote unquote confirms it. So don't take anything at face value. Go deeper into the why behind it. Why do I believe this? Why is this manifesting for me? Does this align? Does this serve me? Is this true for me? And then go from there. All right, Libra, that is your reading for March. I really hope that this was supportive for you, and I'm wishing you so much love and blessings for this month to move through this energy with grace and faith and gratitude. If you're looking for some additional personal insight into this journey that you're currently on, I provide all sorts of very comprehensive services that you can find listed at the link in the description box below, which will take you to my website, ToKittyandBeyond.com. And if you have questions, feel free to email me at services.ToKittyandBeyond@gmail.com. Sending you so much love for this month and beyond. We'll see you next time. Bye. All right. Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your March 2023 monthly reading. You have the Three of Cups, the King of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the Moon card. Okay. So, Scorpio, this is looking like an interesting month. It feels a little bit devoid of something. Now, I see material stability here. I see material wealth. But it may be that there's a void space for something else to come in. It's like there's something here that's either not being used, or there's an opening for something to fill that spot that hasn't come in yet. That's what I'm seeing here. And it's very unknown. It's hidden. You might not even be seeing it. So it might look to you as though you have all of the positions filled, or you have everything that you need. But there's something that's missing. And you may notice that consciously, or you may not. But if something feels off, or something feels like it's not quite perfect, it's close, but it's just not all the way there, this is probably why. It's because there's one thing, or there's a space for something that hasn't been filled yet. There's an addition that's looking to come in that has not been able to be anchored. So this is really interesting to me because the Moon card is here letting you know that there's something here that is not coming to its fullness yet. It may still be in a growth phase, or it may still be in that void space. Perhaps it hasn't even been created yet, but it's looking to be created. It's looking to come up. They're drawing my attention to the moon in the background here, and it's like this beautiful crescent moon, but they're showing me that it's like the void space in the moon that's blocked out by the shadow of the earth. And it's almost like that is where it looks like something is missing. It looks like there's only the part of the moon that's showing, which is present, but we know that the moon is constantly full, and it just appears to be in its crescent shape or in its half state. So maybe something actually is there, but you're just not seeing it. And maybe that's why it feels like it's not. Okay. So seeing it from that angle, this could be something subconscious, because it's as though, you have everything you need, and it's actually a great energy that's looking for you to celebrate that and even to share that with others or to enjoy that. But it still somehow feels like there's something missing. There's one part that's not there, or you haven't gotten all the way to the end yet. And so this is where you're encouraged to go a little bit deeper, to go into your intuition, to feel into your body, to go deep into the subconscious mind, possibly through hypnosis or regression, or possibly through the dream state. Doing some active dream work or lucid dreaming practice can be helpful. Doing some astral work, perhaps. But this is going to help you this month to identify either what is missing, or that there's nothing missing, but why it felt like there was. So doing some dream work, write down your dreams, identify the themes, the symbols, the emotional backing to those themes that you're seeing come out from the subconscious mind. You can also do this through your waking state consciously, intentionally, through meditation, through introspection, or through work with an intuitive, a psychic, or someone whom you trust to be able to bounce your ideas off of or to read into this energy. Because it does feel like a lot of it is subconscious or hidden from you. So it is going to take some conscious and intentional work to be able to uncover it and bring it into the light so that you can actually take a look at what you're working with here and identify once and for all whether you need to fill this space or this void, or whether there really doesn't need to be that feeling in the first place. The oracle card that you have for the month of March, Scorpio, is the balsamic moon, which is a time for healing. So this, again, it's the crescent moon. It's like the void space or the shadow that's overcasting the full moon behind it. And this void space or this darkness of the moon to me represents the subconscious mind, and the fullness and brightness of the moon represents the conscious mind. So it's like this eclipsing of the conscious mind with the void space of the unconscious or the subconscious that's looking to be brought to awareness. So this healing is going to be very supportive of you in uncovering perhaps fears or perceptions of lack, especially when they're not present. Because the cards you have on the table are all very positive. The King of Pentacles is very stable, very grounded, very abundant. His needs are met, and he's confident in his ability to continue to do that. The Three of Cups is enjoyment and celebration, and really taking time to feel a sense of community, feel a sense of accomplishment, that you've done something and you deserve to celebrate that, and to share that with others as well. The Six of Pentacles here is the only one that kind of leads me into this energy of lack, because the Six of Pentacles, because it's here in reverse. So it's this sense of like holding on to what you have a little, perhaps too tightly. And that may just be it. It doesn't necessarily have to be that there's anything overtly missing in your life. It's more so perhaps you're just holding on a little too tightly to that which you've already acquired or achieved. And then the question would be, why? Where's the fear? So that's kind of the question to ask yourself this month, Scorpio. Where's the fear? And then just being open to what comes up. And feeling confident and stable in your ability to deal with that. Because this cat in the moon card sitting on the fence, the dogs are barking at it. There's a lobster down there as well, but the cat is unbothered. He's sitting there confidently, like, you can't get me up here. So I think this is kind of where the healing can be found, is looking into the subconscious mind and understanding, especially if you're doing dream work, like, you're the one who's dreaming it. So if any of those fears come up from the subconscious mind through imagery or symbolism in your dreams, especially working intentionally with lucid dreaming or conscious intentional dreaming, you can really start to see how it doesn't really impact you, because you're the observer and you're also the creator of the dream. So if something is really uncomfortable or scary, all you have to do is change it. So this can help you to really kind of approach your life, your real life, from that perspective, because the reality that we experience, here and now as the third dimensional realm it is a form of waking dream for the soul to embody and incarnate into. So doing lucid dream practice can help you to feel more confident in your ability to shape and create your reality, and to take that with you into your waking life, so that these fears of lack or instability don't have any sway or power over you anymore. That's really cool. This is a very interesting message that you have, Scorpio, and you're the perfect sign to do that, being a real deep feeler and thinker, and being able to go into these darker unconscious realms to be able to have that sense of of personal power and control over your reality. It's really, really cool. So that is what I have for you this month, Scorpio. Let me know how it resonated. And if you're looking to do any personal healing work, I'm here to support you in that. I have many services that can be very, very helpful in diving into the subconscious, at understanding what the soul is desiring, and perhaps even working with clearing of karmic patterns as well. So you can check out my services in the link below at ToKittyandBeyond.com. Sending you so much love for March and beyond. We'll see you next time. Bye. All right. Hi, Ophiuchus. Welcome to your March 2023 monthly reading. Today you have the Page of Cups in reverse, the Seven of Wands in reverse, the Strength card reversed, and the Two of Swords reversed as well. So first thing, pretty obvious, all the cards are in the reversed position. So what does this mean? Well, for me, I'm feeling that a lot of the energy surrounding March for you is going to be very internal. So I see these reversals not necessarily as blockages or as things that are restricting you. I see them much more as internalized energies that you are either cultivating and developing, or that you're working to express perhaps in a way that's not quite ready to take external yet. So let's start with the Page of Cups. The energy of the Page of Cups here feels like you're continuing to dig or dive deeper into the self. So again, this is a very internal process. I see you looking inside your mind. You might be doing some dream work or interpreting your subconscious, but you're looking deeper. You're looking for something that may even be in the dark recesses of your subconscious mind, the place that normally people fear to go, but you're seeking it out this month for a purpose. There's a reason to that. And it feels to me as though this is to be able to grieve and let go of things that have been kind of gathering energy because they've been stored or locked away. And so they've been sort of interfering from the background. So allowing yourself to identify, to go a bit deeper into these themes or patterns or emotions that have been stored and are unprocessed or unreleased is going to help you to be able to understand, accept, therefore process, feel, and release what doesn't need to be there anymore. Because the cat's head is digging deep into the toilet. He's looking down into an area that normally we don't want to look at. And the energy is of release. It's needing to look at something so that it can be released, so it can be flushed away. Because I'm seeing the flowers on the back of the toilet representing almost like peace lilies, or lilies that you would give to somebody who's going through a grieving process or who has just lost someone. So it does feel like there's a major release and transformation happening for you in March as an internal process occurring because of this introspection and shadow work that you may be doing. Now, the Seven of Wands reversed here feels like a little bit of trial and error. It's like you're looking at what's there and determining whether it's something that you want to keep or something that you want to get rid of. So it is a little bit of a process of discernment and really just a little bit assessing what's there, what you need to keep, what's essential, and what is possibly not helping you or even weighing you down or burdening you. And being able to pick those things apart and being able to let them go or push them out to be released is going to be really helpful. The Strength card here is here to do that, to help you to do just that. It is helping you to, go through this process, which is a little bit sometimes challenging, and to feel as though it's within your control. So instead of having these things come up on their own and then you having to deal with them or react or respond to them in the moment, it's like because you're going out and doing this work intentionally, specifically, it's within your control and it can feel a little bit more contained and even possibly a little bit more comfortable because of that. So the Strength card here really speaks to that approach, and it gives you the courage to be able to start doing that for yourself. I see you clearing a lot of karma, ending karmic cycles, and opening yourself up wide to the new opportunities that life has to offer now that these old karmic feedback loops are no longer continuing to cycle and repeat. The Two of Swords here is again about discernment, so being very aware and objective about the information that's coming up or that you're being drawn to look at, and having a very detached approach to it. That's what helps you to release attachment, keeps things stored, and keeps us bonded to things, whereas detachment allows us to view it in a more objective observer perspective, and therefore to let it go more easily, or at the very least not to take it personally and internalize it further. The other thing I'm seeing here is that the two cats in the Strength card and the Two of Swords both have their mouths open in presumably what is a yawn, but I also see this as like a war cry. So actually there's three things that I'm associating with the open mouth. First is being wide open to new experiences, as I mentioned before. The second is this war cry, this inner strength and courage to be able to charge into the dark forest of your own mind and to be able to face the dragons therein. And thirdly, this energy of release. The yawning energy is release in and of itself, an involuntary bodily release. It's the way that our body processes emotion or energy. We can release in many different ways, laughing, crying, yawning, shaking, jumping up and down, yelling, screaming. These are all different and equally important forms of physical release. The emotion is energy that needs to be in motion to be processed. So this isn't necessarily an intellectual processing that's occurring this month for you. It's more of a somatic, emotional, physical processing that's going to facilitate this release and the freedom from these cycles repeating, like I said. Okay, so let's take a look at your oracle cards. You have full moon in Gemini with the answers you need are coming, and the new moon in Aries, it's time to take action. So this is really interesting to me because the answers you need are coming came out first, and I accidentally reversed them on the table, and I had the Aries moon, in the first position, and they specifically told me you need to switch those back to the order that they came out in, because that's the order that they're meant to be read in. So it's not like, for example, it's not time to take action and then the answers come. It's the answers you need are coming, and then once they're there, you're able to take action. So the full moon in Gemini here speaks to me of communication, and again, this is communication with yourself. It's connection, really, is what it boils down to. Connection with yourself through this intentional form of communication by looking into the self, by observing the self objectively without judgment and seeing what is there. The other aspect of this is receiving these internal communications. So all of these cards being in reverse and this being a very internalized, introspective energy for you this month, I feel like the answers you need are going to come from within. So it's not necessarily going to be something that somebody else says or does or some information that you come across. It's more likely going to be information that you come to on your own from within yourself. It may be confirmed from outside of you, but the inner knowing is going to be there, and that will predate the confirmation or the external reflection of that information. So really trust yourself to know that you have the answers here, and that if you feel like you don't, go looking for them. Be intentional about it. Be open to what you see. Try to remain detached and allow the answers to come up because they're in you. They just need to surface, or you need to shine a light so that you can see them. And then we have, it's time to take action with that new moon in Aries energy. So this is a great opportunity to then apply what you've learned. Once you have the answers and you have a sense of direction or an action that you can start to implement, that's when you do it. So the Aries energy is fantastic, and that's going to be moving into the end of this month when we shift from Pisces season into Aries, where that, I can't remember if there actually is an Aries new moon in March or not, but either way, Aries season is the beginning of the new year. What's the word? The solstice, that's the word I'm looking for. It's the, not equinox, what's the word I'm looking for here? The astrological new year, I suppose. Yeah. So this is a time to set those intentions, to start taking action, to start, or finish this process of spring cleaning within you, and then be able to implement, to act, feeling more free, unburdened, unfettered, and able to maneuver much, much easier. So this month is looking very internal. So I am sending you so much love, Ophiuchus, through this period. And if you would like some assistance with that, I have lots of services that you can book with me for one-on-one personal work. And you can find the link to my website in the description box below, ToKittyandBeyond.com. Sending you so much love for March and beyond. And we'll see you next time. Bye. All right. Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your March 2023 monthly reading. You have the Three of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles reversed. So, Sagittarius, this month is feeling like you are coming out of some kind of disappointment or heartbreak or something that was a challenge for you personally. Now, it does feel like this was something more recent. It could have been a replay of something that you've experienced before in the past, but this particular circumstance does feel like it was more recent, and it could have been something big or it could have been something small, but it hit you in the heart. It felt uncomfortable. It didn't feel good to have this circumstance play out, or to have things kind of fall apart in the way they did, perhaps, or play out in an outcome that was not what you had intended or expected. However, I do see you in the month of March coming out of this and working towards a resolution, a healing, a reclamation of yourself, or, meeting your needs in a way that feels very necessary, very needed, and also very rejuvenating. The Six of Swords here feels like you're kind of getting it out. It's like you're expressing what it is that you felt instead of holding it in. And through that, you're able to release it and let go of it, and you're moving out of that energy. So that's a fantastic thing to do, and this timeline is looking good as well, because it's not like you're letting it sit around and stagnate within you. You're like, okay, this happened, I didn't enjoy that, but I'm not going to sit and ruminate on it. I'm not going to sit and allow that to take up my time and energy. I'm going to move and do something with this. I'm going to let this go. I'm going to release this. I'm going to do something cathartic, or something that's going to help to heal and rejuvenate me and put me back in the direction I want to be going. And that direction feels very stable. It feels very purposeful. So the destination is really actually the process. The process here feels joyful. It feels relaxing. It feels like you are very much caring for yourself and giving yourself the time and space to be able to rest, to be able to heal, to be able to really just take the time necessary to let go of what happened and to move forward. Yeah. So that's a very healthy process. I'm very proud of you guys who are doing this month. And the Six of Pentacles reversed here feels to me, again, I'm getting that energy of luxuriousness or luxuriating. So just really allowing yourself to indulge a little bit in the things that bring you joy or that help you to feel safe and comfortable, especially if the situation that was triggering to you or that happened was, very uncomfortable or didn't feel safe or resulted in you a little bit disconnecting from yourself. This month gives you the opportunity to reconnect, to do the healing, to practice the things that are actually physically going to cultivate that sense of peace within you and help you to release anything that's not aligned with that. I see you meeting your own needs in a really big way, and I'm so happy to see and to feel that, because it really does feel like you're relaxing into your capacity to care for yourself. That is so huge, Sagittarius. That is really a massive accomplishment. So even if it looks like you're just taking some you time, some downtime, a little bit of reprieve, or even a little leave of absence or a vacation or something like that, it's deeper than that. It's bigger than that. It really is you caring for yourself and allowing yourself to just, relax a bit. To relax. Yeah, beautiful. And the oracle card that you have is a personal issue reaches resolution, which is the full moon in Cancer. So again, this really just reiterates what I was seeing there with the Three of Swords and the Six of Swords. It's this progression from a personal issue that is moving into resolution. And Cancer is the energy of the heart, emotion, family, nurturing, and relationships. So it does definitely feel like the issue may have been to do something with that. Like perhaps there was a disagreement between you and a friend or a family member, or a relationship ended, in a way that you weren't really expecting, or perhaps you did see it coming, but it doesn't prevent it from hurting, right? Even if we see something coming, it doesn't make it any easier most of the time. But again, I see you really being in your comfort energy. The energy of Cancer itself is very homebody. It likes to feel safe and secure within its shell, within its, its boundaries. So that's what I see here with that Queen of Wands, the Six of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles reversed. It's like going within, going in, staying at home. Maybe you're doing a staycation. That would be perfect for this month. Just really prioritizing home and family and healing things like good food and rest and relaxation and sleep and simple comforts of things that are going to help to rebuild your spirit, because that's what I feel like was really the most damaged from whatever this personal issue was. It sits in the heart chakra, but it's really connected more to the spirit. And the spirit can only be broken or tarnished or damaged by a sense of defeat, especially a defeat that feels repetitive and leads us to feel hopeless or disempowered. So the way that we rebuild our spirit is by taking care of ourselves. It's by renewing our sense of connection with a higher power within us, and also by taking care of our physical bodies. So renew your spirit through self-connection and healing. That's really what I see for you this month. Let me see if there's any other messages that want to come through for you, Sagittarius. There may be a Leo involved in this situation. For some reason that's coming through. So if the other person within this personal challenge or personal issue was a Leo, or displays the qualities or traits of Leo, which in the negative sense can be prideful, a little bit egocentric, and sometimes lacking compassion, that may have been the case. The positive qualities of Leo are actually the opposite. So compassion and empathy and passion, really. A flair for the eccentric and grandiose and dramatic. So, Leos really do. They have a big heart. So it just depends on the energy that this other individual is coming from. each sign, each trait, each archetype can express both functionally or dysfunctionally depending on the person, or even depending on the circumstances. So that's something to keep in mind. What else? Yeah, I really see you just kind of getting it out, like in the Six of Swords here, the cat is scratching. Cats love to do that, and it's a form of release. They are releasing tension from their muscles and joints when they're doing that. They're sharpening their nails and releasing some of the coating on the nails. It's almost like the nail will shed an outer layer, and so the inner layer can grow out. Very similar to crustaceans, now that I think about it. Very similar to that Moon in Cancer energy. It's like you're shedding old versions of yourself by stretching and, cathartically expressing some of those old things that don't need to be there anymore and getting them out. So this could be something that you're doing more mentally because it is swords energy, which is the mind and thought. But it could also be something that you're doing physically, like maybe you're physically stretching or doing some somatic work to be able to bring your body back into a state of equilibrium and allow yourself to relax. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing for you, Sagittarius. This looks like an interesting month. Let me know how it plays out for you or how this reading resonates. And if you'd like to go deeper into some one-on-one readings for yourself, I do all sorts of intuitive and psychic services, so you can check those out at the link to my website in the description box below, and check out what services and products I have there as well. So sending you so much love, Sagittarius, in the month of March and beyond, and we will see you next time. Bye. All right, hi Capricorn. Welcome to your March 2023 monthly reading. You have the King of Swords, the King of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so Capricorn, the first thing that's pretty obvious here and it stands out are these two kings back to back. So the King of Swords feels to me in this deck, in this reading, very inquisitive. That's the energy I'm getting from him. It's almost like this curiosity and this inquisitiveness that's leading you into, asking questions, asking specifically the right questions at the right time. And that's really what's facilitating learning for you this month. I feel the curiosity and the inquisitiveness leading you down the path to learning something, either through osmosis or through, a traditional means of learning. But I just feel this sense of your eyes are wide open and you're really seeing life or the world around you with a lot of new perspective. And because of that, it's like you're seeing things through the eyes of a child almost, but with the maturity and the knowledge of an adult. So it's this really nice combination that allows you to experience things as if they're new. They don't become jaded or tarnished by time. And yet you still have the knowledge and the wisdom as well as the experience to continue to build on and to interpret your reality. So that's really cool. The other thing here is that King of Cups. So you have two kings. They're both strong masculine energy. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that it's men. Masculinity is within all of us and it's a polarity. So it's the polarity of masculinity that helps us to take action, to do things, to protect, to build, to learn and to lead. So the King of Cups here feels a little bit different than the King of Swords, where the King of Swords in this reading is inquisitive, curious, even a little bit playful, which I normally don't get from the King of Swords. But this King of Cups is a little more reserved. So it's almost like they're opposites, but they're drawing my attention to the dolphins in the painting behind the cat here in the King of Cups. And that feels playful. Dolphins are known for being very highly intelligent, compassionate, empathic, and playful creatures. That's something I'm seeing as well. They're very curious as well. They always want to check things out and see what that is or what that means, because they're highly intelligent. That's a sign of intelligence. Curiosity is a sign of intelligence, is what I just heard. So yeah, allowing yourself to be curious, because that's how you learn. And yet the King of Cups himself here feels a little bit more reserved. He's watching. He's not necessarily taking action in the same sense that the King of Swords is. He's sitting back and he's like, well, you know, I have everything I need here. I have the knowledge, I have the wisdom, I have the intuitive capacity to just stay where I am and observe. So you have a little bit of, it's almost like these two energies, they're similar, but there's a little bit of contradiction here, because in one, there's this need to explore, to expand, to be curious, and to pursue your curiosity and see where it leads you. And then the other is saying, I'm okay where I'm at, and I don't really want to move anywhere or have to do anything to acquire this knowledge. I'm just kind of content with what I know. But there's this driving force behind you that's saying, you know, you might feel that way, but the inner curiosity, the inner drive to learn or to expand or to grow it's there, whether it feels comfortable or not. The Eight of Swords shows me that this process might, even though it feels exciting to one part of you, there's another part that's feeling a little bit constricted, or that it's in fear of pursuing this path. Because the Eight of Swords is this energy of restriction or limitation, especially in the mind. So this is preconceived ideas about the world or about ourselves that create a sense of limitation or restriction, or these boundaries that it's very hard for us to traverse or to get across because they're in the mind. They may have external expressions, they might seem real, but really it's the belief that we hold and the energy we give to them that makes them manifest into reality in that way. So the Eight of Swords here is kind of asking you to take a look at, you know, what you've invested your energy and your thought into in terms of your beliefs and your preconceptions about the world, and to a little bit just sort of take a step back from that and get curious again, because it's that childlike innocence that is really going to help you to expand your perspective of yourself and the world, and to grow because of that. And if you, even better, if you can make it fun for yourself to deal with some of the limitation or restriction or the resistance energy that's coming up here, that's going to be even better, because if you can incorporate fun and pleasure into this process of learning, it's going to make it feel safer for you, for that part of you that is attached to what is known to the self, which is a lot of the times what the Eight of Swords represents as well. It's kind of like we attach to these ideas and these beliefs, even if they're limiting, simply because they are known. And they have confines, they have dimension, we can measure them, we can understand that, even if it's not supportive, even if it doesn't actually help us. Even if it's actively restricting us, a lot of the times as humans, we get attached to these ideas and beliefs because at least we know them and we fear the unknown as a species. So it's an adaptive, or rather in this case, maladaptive mechanism, but it is for survival nonetheless. So if you can make it fun, if you can come at it with the eyes of a child, it's going to be a lot easier to kind of break through some of that resistance. The 7 of Pentacles in reverse here. This is an interesting energy. So again, I'm getting that feeling of curiosity and play being very rewarding for you. Instead of having it be a frustration, it's like you're trying to get the answers, or you're asking the questions, but you're not getting anything back from it because you're taking it so seriously. Again, incorporate the play and the fun and the joy into the process of it, and that's actually what's going to yield better results for you. Because as you can see in the card, the cat is playing with one of those little treat balls, and it's kind of like a game where they have to roll it in a specific way to get the treat out. So it's like a puzzle. And that's where that energy of innocence is coming in. It's like, if you can solve this puzzle by playing a game, or you can solve this puzzle by taking it very seriously and getting frustrated, which is actually going to hamper your results. Now, the oracle card that you have for this month is the new moon in Scorpio, which says work through your fears. So Capricorn, this could be to do with your fears. I mean, that's essentially what the Eight of Swords represents anyway. These limiting thoughts and beliefs are often held onto, like I said, because of attachment to what is known. And really, that's just a result or a symptom of fear. So working through your fears this month is going to be very supportive and helpful for you to be able to grow and learn and expand and mature. Because I do see a lot of mature energy here, but again, it's perfectly balanced with innocence. So maturity doesn't mean losing your childlike spark and curiosity. If anything, true maturity is retaining that while still expanding and growing your experience, your wisdom, and your knowledge. So that's what I have for you this month, Capricorn. This is looking like a bit of a challenge, but it can be fun. So please make it fun if you can. And if you're looking for additional support on how to do that, guidance, mentorship, advice, spiritual healing, I can provide many different resources and tools to support you this month and beyond. And you can find my services in the link to my website in the description box below this video. So I'm sending you so much love, Capricorn, for March and beyond, and we will see you next time. Bye. All right, hi Aquarius, welcome to your March 2023 monthly reading. You have the King of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the King of Cups. So the first thing I want to note here is that the previous sign, Capricorn, also got the King of Swords and the King of Cups. But they had the King of Swords and the King of Cups right next to each other as the first and second cards in the reading, whereas yours, you have the King of Swords in the same position as the first card, but the King of Cups instead is sandwiching at the end as the fourth card. The other thing I want to note is that the Three of Swords and the Oracle card, which we'll talk about later that you got, are the same as what I believe Sagittarius got as well. So you've got these sort of a mix of these energies of other people, and I guess these are just collective themes that people are experiencing in general, but yours is a little different, so let's talk about that. The first thing that I feel here is it's almost like this energy of, similar to what was coming up for Capricorn, it's this energy of curiosity, but instead of the very innocent curiosity that I was picking up on from Capricorn, for you, Aquarius, this feels more like you're analyzing. So it's a little bit more of a mature and intentional type of curiosity. It's like you're doing a study almost, like a scientist would do. And the intention is to gain knowledge or to gain information that will help you to better understand something that's going on here. And this could have to do with your emotional body, your emotional experiences, things that you've been through, matters of the heart, especially related to relationships. Because you have the Three of Swords here, which is heartbreak, betrayal, grief even as well. It's issues related to how we relate to ourselves and in turn how we relate to other people. So I see this as an area of study for you this month, looking at and possibly identifying objectively these themes of emotional response or reactivity that you have within relationships. You could even be looking at the types of people that you're attracted to and why that is. You could be looking at the types of relationship dynamics that you've had in the past and why you chose to interact or to be with those people, or what the dynamics were within those relationships and how they impacted you and your growth and where you're at now. So I think this curiosity is a good thing. It definitely feels as though it's constructive. So yes, I see that as a positive thing. The key here is not to not to get too much into. Now, I don't want to say don't get into your feelings here, because I think that this is a necessary part of the process, but I want to kind of emphasize that it's not about denying your feelings entirely, and it's also not about diving into them to the point that you get lost. It's somewhere in that middle ground where you're remaining fairly objective. You're not intellectualizing to the point of detachment, but you're also not allowing yourself to just really sink like a rock into your emotional pool. So it is Pisces season, and Aquarius tends to be more analytical and more intellectual and cognitizing. And Pisces season is very ethereal. It lacks boundaries. It's very feeling oriented, and sometimes that can be a negative thing. The positive qualities can help you to discern through intuition and through connecting of the dots that you maybe wouldn't have seen in a purely rational or logical way. So there's pros and cons to every energy. There's positive and negative polarity of every sign and every archetype. It's how we choose to interact with it and embody it, which will dictate how it expresses. So Aquarius, what I would recommend for you this month is to get curious about these things. And like I said, go at it with the perspective of a scientist, where you're detached from the outcome, but you're studying compassionately the subjects. And in this case, you are the subject, or possibly your past relationship, your past partners, your past friendships, family members, etc. Perhaps they are the subjects. But again, this is all happening at a more internal level. Some of it might actually be playing out with people. Now that I say that, they're kind of like, well, actually, you have a lot of court cards on the table. The court cards do represent actual people in your life. So you may be playing this out in a more physical way. You might actually be testing things out and looking at how you interact with your friends, your family, your loved ones, because that's going to give you input. That's going to give you data, however you want to pronounce it. Which is what you need to be able to formulate this theory or this hypothesis, or come to this conclusion. So allow yourself to go into this with the mind of intention, of consciousness around what it is that you're looking to get out of this. And I think maybe the best thing or place to start here is to ask yourself, what are you looking to get out of this? Is it a better relationship with yourself and others? Is it better understanding of the patterns that may be maladaptive or, dysfunctional? Is it a better understanding of how you can support your friends in the ways that they need through communicating with them? Is it, there's so many different questions that you can ask yourself, and it really just depends on you as an individual, what your priorities are, what you feel like you need to focus on the most right now. So that's what I'm seeing there is kind of being willing to ask yourself those questions this month, and then to, through a little bit of trial and error, test some things out and see what the feedback is, or see what you learn from it, really. Now, the oracle card that you have for this month is the full moon in Cancer, and it's a personal issue reaches resolution. I really like this for you, Aquarius, because again, it's that same feeling of that Three of Swords being a personal issue that may have been sitting around unresolved or unprocessed. And the full moon in Cancer there, the energy signature of that is helping you this month to address it and understand it and even heal it. So it does help you to find resolution here. It does help you to better understand yourself and your needs and your past choices, and maybe even to redirect how you choose to interact with yourself and others in the future. And even possibly connecting with those whom you trust and whom you love to help you through this process. That could be another reason why we have all these court cards here. So if there was disconnection or pain within relationships in the past, perhaps the best way to repair is to reconnect with people, or to find people to connect with who you resonate with and who can support you in a healthy way. because the full moon in Cancer is all about family and home and connection and safety. So I feel like this is what's going to help facilitate that sense of healing or personal resolution, and allow for that learning to take place. It's kind of like, okay, you have the result of this study, that the variable was kind of like a negative or maladaptive way of behaving or interacting with others. And now you're going to try a new study with individuals who you're going to interact with in an adaptive way, in an aligned way, with healthy boundaries, etc. And then kind of contrast and compare the two situations. Like, wow, this is what I learned from this one, and this is what I learned from that one. So yeah, this seems like actually a really enjoyable time for you, despite the fact that you have the Three of Swords, which can be a challenging or even painful energy. But I feel that you're actually going to get a lot out of this in the month of March and going forward as well. So allow yourself to, fill your cup and express yourself and connect with others. I think that's really going to help in this whole process. Yeah, and it's going to bring that resolution. I love that for you, Aquarius. So that is your reading for the month of March, and I hope that it resonated and supported you. Let me know in the comments if it did. And if you're needing any personal help or support or services of healing, counseling, mentorship, guidance, etc., you can find all of my services at the link to my website in the description box below. So feel free to check that out and reach out to me to book a one-on-one if you're in need of that. Sending you so much love in the month of March and beyond, and we'll see you next time. Bye. All right. Hi, Pisces. Welcome to your March 2023 monthly reading, and happy birthday to you Piscean sun signs who have a birthday in the month of March. I am one of you. My birthday is on March 4th. So yay to us. So let's take a look at your cards, Pisces. You have the Death card, the Magician, the Three of Pentacles, and the Two of Swords. So the first thing that really jumps out at me is this transformational process through the Death card, going from fear to some kind of empowerment or some kind of new action that takes you from that fight or flight response into a greater sense of security. The reason I say that is because the cat is running away from the vacuum, and yet there's a sunrise happening in the background. So there is this sort of fight or flight or fear causing, this avoidance or resistance to something, especially if it's this death process that's taking place. Transformation can feel uncomfortable, it can feel scary, but Spirit is letting you know that the sun is rising and it's on the horizon at this time through this month, and it is your solar return if you're a Pisces sun. So it's kind of like this rebirth of the self. It's a new start in your sense of self. It's a new growth cycle, a new growth phase. You're going into a whole different numerological year. So this is actually something that, even though it might be a little uncomfortable, ultimately, it's going to be very, very beneficial and growth oriented. And we see that with the Magician card sitting right next to the Death card. So the Magician here is this new beginning. It's the number one. So it's the start of this new journey, new phase in your life. Whether you're sun, moon, or rising, it doesn't matter. Wherever Pisces sits in your chart, this month is jam-packed with a lot of astrological changes. And so this energy is going to facilitate a lot of new potential. And that's what I'm feeling for you this month, Pisces, is this energy of new potential, new manifestation capabilities. It feels like you've raised your frequency by going through the death process and releasing the fears, by allowing yourself to address those things and having held hope through the painful aspects of the death and transformation stage, and then coming out of it into this whole new beginning where you're able to trust yourself and your abilities. With the Magician here, I have a real sense of reaching for something that you previously believed was outside of your capacity to achieve, to experience, or to manifest. So I see you reaching up and reaching for something that before felt unreachable. So allow yourself to explore your potential, to really expand your idea of your own potential, I think is the real core of that message. Because in doing so, you're going to free yourself to be able to actually achieve that which you thought in the past was completely off the table for you. And yet it wasn't. The whole time it wasn't. You just needed to get to a point where you could do it for yourself, where you knew that you created this and you had the power the whole time. It's kind of like you've had the ruby slippers for the whole journey. All you needed to do was understand that power and use it intentionally. That's it. It's like Wizard of Oz. So you had the power all along, Pisces, and this is just the beginning of the next stage where you can actually start to apply it in a more intentional way. That's where that manifestation is actually going to start to show up. And you're going to see the tangible results of it, because the next card we have is the Three of Pentacles. So this is the tangible results starting to manifest. It's not in its full manifestation yet, like it would be with, say, for example, the 9 or 10 of Pentacles, but it's getting there. It's starting. So there's something to show for it. You're starting to see incremental growth. And because of that, I do feel a sense of kind of, it's like you're moving forward, but at the same time, you're still kind of defending where you're at a little bit. So maybe there's still a little bit of fear there. I don't think that it's completely gone. I mean, otherwise the Death card and that cat running away from the vacuum wouldn't be in this reading. So the fear is still there, but you're moving through it with grace. You're moving through it with the intention and the awareness that you're able to manifest positive change for yourself despite the fear. So I do see a lot of movement forward. I do see a lot of progress. Yet we finish the end of your reading with the Two of Swords. And this Two of Swords here feels a little bit, to me, the energy I'm getting from this card right now in your reading is almost like standoffishness. It's kind of like, I'm not going to get involved. I'm going to stand back here. I'm not going to interact. That could be where the fear is actually manifesting or showing up for you. So it's very similar to the cat running away from the vacuum and the cat hiding inside the box. It feels like it's this standoffishness that's really there as an attempt to try and protect yourself because you may be feeling vulnerable in this new stage or this new growth period. Especially if you're going through transformation, it's kind of like the cocoon around the caterpillar that holds it in place while it dissolves itself and then reconstructs into the blueprint of the butterfly. You know, there needs to be a safe container for that to happen. So I think that, you know, being a little bit standoffish or having that boundary and protection there is not necessarily a bad thing. You just want to make sure that you're not getting stuck there, because that's not a permanent stage to be in. It is a transitionary stage. I do see communication as well. The Two of Swords here, really with that big wide open mouth, it's almost like he's needing to say something very loudly. He's needing to express himself here. So this could be a theme that you're seeing for the month of March as well. Needing to express yourself and really express yourself authentically. And this is confirmed through your oracle card. You have the full moon in Aquarius, which says, show the world the real you. So this Aquarian energy is very unique, very eccentric, and very authentic. You know, Aquarians in their highest expression are not afraid to walk their own path. They are the black sheep, and they own that. They're okay with it because they enjoy being unique and an individual, because it gives them a unique perspective and experience of the world. It also allows them to create things that other people may not have thought of. So what I see here for you this month, Pisces, is to continue to address your fears around this transformation and this growth of self. And incrementally start to show the world the real you. So it's kind of like allowing yourself to be a little bit more authentic, more vulnerable, to really show up without any facade or any sugarcoating or any masking, if you're familiar with that term. So this can really help to both force you a little bit to address your fear, because to step outside of your comfort zone is to step into the unknown, which will evoke fear, but it's also for the purpose of growth and transformation. So it is a healthy form of vulnerability. It is a healthy form of fear in this sense. Feeling empowered to be the real you is the most freeing thing that you can do, and doing it in a way that feels aligned for you. Really, not really focusing quite so much on what other people are going to think or how they're going to interpret it, and really just allowing yourself to play with the idea of being you. Really, how does that look? When you're home alone, what is the real authentic you? And I think that sometimes it's hard to ascertain that, because Pisces is a little bit of a mix of all of the signs, and being a mutable energy, Pisces does tend to take on the traits or characteristics of whoever they're interacting with or whatever environment they're in. Pisces is kind of a chameleon in that way, and so it's hard to determine what the true authentic self is when the self is constantly changing and mutable. But I think that that's also a part of Pisces' authenticity, is the fact that they can transform consistently. And that doesn't mean that that's a fake part of you that you're presenting or masking. It may just be a part of you that is your authentic expression, is that you're able to transform, you're able to change shape, you're able to switch direction and show different parts of you depending on the context. And I think everybody does this to some degree, right? We don't have the same necessarily way of communicating in a business environment versus with our children at home, or if we're talking to the queen or something like that, right? That's going to require different expressions from us. But does that change who we are innately? No, it does not. So that's kind of what I'm getting here for you, Pisces, is allowing yourself to embrace the changeable nature of who you are, and at the same time, by doing that, you're becoming more of the authentic you. Beautiful, beautiful message here for you, Pisces, for us, really. So I want to thank you for being here, for allowing me to provide this reading for you today, and I wish you so many blessings for the month of March and beyond. If you would like additional resources or support through a one-on-one reading with me, I have all sorts of psychic intuitive services to support you, and you can find all the information at the link to my website in the description box below this video. Thanks again, guys. I love you so much, and we will see you next time. Bye.